Good morning, Sri Lanka. You're here with me, Amaya, on the show. It's another great Tuesday morning, and we're going to have a bright and colorful morning actually, because with me today on the show, we're going to speak to a mother-daughter designer duo. And they are actually two designers who have taken traditional textiles and traditional ways of making these textiles and applied them to modern designs. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce them to you. We have with us the two amazing Jayawardhanas. Good morning, welcome to the show.
Good morning, Amaya.
So we have Mrs. Shyamala Jayawardhana, who is actually a graduate of Fine Arts, and she is the principal of the Shyamala School of Art, as well as a co-founder of the Unity Mission Trust. But she is, today on the show, she will be here with us as a textile designer and also a handloom enthusiast. And we also have her daughter, Shyala, who has taken up her mother's work as well, and besides being part of the Unity Mission Trust, which we will also touch on later on in the show, she's also an award-winning designer herself, and especially when we talk about taking these traditional forms of textiles and applying them to contemporary designs. So it's great to have you on the show today, and tell us now, being a mother-daughter duo in this field, what haven't I mentioned in this introduction now?
Pretty much, you have pretty much said everything. Amaya, thank you for having us. First and foremost, no, it is just that this is a passion that I have had from the time I was tiny. And when Shyala was about 9 years, I saw her drawing on reams and reams of books, and I actually took it and kept it aside because she was drawing all these punky little things. That was a time that there was this TV show called Punky Brewster, and this child was, I thought she was really involved with that, but then she was actually designing at 9, and she's ended up like that. So it's probably something that was all around her at home, but that's how it has been. But
so the atmosphere at home really helped you, Shyala, to come into your own.
Definitely. I mean, I grew up in an art school, and I've been surrounded by color and drawing and all sorts of beautiful things in different forms. So, I mean, I suppose I'm very fortunate that I have her as a mother, and that I was able to grow up in an art school. So I think it's definitely had a huge bearing on what I've decided to do with life and who I am. So,
but let's speak about handlooms in Sri Lanka. Now, how did you end up in this particular field?
Well, handlooms was when Shyala was really small, and I couldn't do much with my life because I had given up teaching by then, because I wanted to look after this chipmunk, and I didn't want to leave her alone at all. But the creative urge in me was such that I just couldn't hang around only at home. So I had my teacher, my former teacher, Chandra Thenuara, to whom I'm ever so grateful all the days of my life, who invited me. She said, Shyamala, National Handloom Textile Division needs somebody to design. Why don't you come part-time and do some designing? And Auntie Chandra was the one who actually taught me all about handloom, and then all about color and the amazing things you can do with the loom. And there I was designing handlooms and predictions for the West and so on. And so it got on from there. So that was my interest to start with. But it grew later on. I mean, very recently that I started training weavers, and I found that Sri Lanka doesn't have art in its handlooms. So that is how it happened.
How it came about. And you haven't looked back since then, I guess.
Nope.
But let's talk about your School of Art. Okay. Now, how did that come about? And you, Shyala, you mentioned that you've been in the School of Art since you were a child.
Since the day it started.
And you have Cambridge and Edexcel and other GC examinations as well. So
yes.
It is a very comprehensive school that you've started up, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a centre for London O-level and A-level art, as well as I do teach local O-level and A-level children, because I want to encourage them to do things with aesthetics, because there is this norm that parents have that children who do art are the children who don't have brains. You know,
and you beg to differ.
Yes, all the monkeys go to do art. This is a kind of format that is there. And now even recently I had a parent who came and asked me, what prospects do my child have? And mind you, this is a child was trying to do architecture. So for architecture you need art, and the child was trying to do art. and the mother is asking me what prospects. So I told her, well, before you earn from your child, try to give the child aesthetic knowledge that is required for architecture. So we have lots of things happening from 4-year-olds onwards to the A-levels, the O-levels, and then I do have courses for children who are leaving school, who need the aesthetic background, who need to develop their portfolios, things like that.
So Handloom is just a part of it, isn't it?
Handloom is just my little corner in the middle of all of this excitement that goes on.
And if we speak about this venture that you've co-founded, which is the Unity Mission Trust, now Shyala, I think you can explain to us about what this is exactly.
Yeah, Unity Mission Trust is something that we all started as a family, family of 4. And what happened was, right after the war, we felt the need to do something, because we saw lots of people sitting around and saying, there is this need and that need, and children have no schools and no books, and mothers have no maternity care, and no one has anything basically, and they were all living in dugout holes, but no one was really going out into the field and doing anything. And so we thought, what, let's just get together our friends and people who care and feel the same as we do. And so we went out to the Manic farms. That's how it all started. We've grown from that point. That was in 2009, as soon as the war ended. So in 2010 we became an official trust that's legally formed, and we've grown from that point. Now we've worked with about 3,500 students. If I'm to tell you exactly what we specialize in, we are a trust that's committed to fostering unity, healing, integration and reconciliation amongst communities that have gotten torn apart. We work mainly with students who are all between the ages of 14 and 19. So they're all school-going, O-level, A-level children. We specialize in 4-day to 3 to 4 day camps in which we do personality development, personal capacity enhancement training, and we work on their self-confidence, and we work on their ability to become leaders.
But what part does art play in this process? Does it?
See, what we do with art is we believe that art has a very strong ability to move children out of their shells, and that's something I've seen in my mother and art school particularly. Even the students who come to art school, I've seen how some of the children don't ever talk, but at the end of the day, when they finish their art class and they're going home, they're full of life, and there's something in them, like a switch that has clicked, so we use art as a form of therapy.
I see.
So, and I mean, it's very useful because all of these children, lots of children that we work with from the north and the east and areas where they were affected by the war, they've been through so much more than you and I will ever understand. So art, I think, plays a huge role in allowing them to adjust to their surroundings and to really let go of a lot of the things that have happened to them in the past.
And that's great that something like art can do that to a child and really help them let go of all the maybe trauma that they have gone through. But if we go back to your career as a designer, now I'm sure that your mother has influenced you a lot as well. Tell us about how you, because you are interested in handloom textiles as well, is it?
Yes, very much. The thing is, see, I've seen my mother working with handlooms from the time I was a baby. I've been very much in and around the yarn, and I remember as a child, a memory of mine is having these balls of yarn in different colors, and I was very interested and intrigued by the different colors that I saw. So in terms of handloom, I mean, I graduated from fashion school, and I'm a fashion designer, and the way I see it, I want to make handloom something that's very contemporary, because people still, I know Colombo is coming out of it a little, but people still seem to have that impression that when you talk about textiles, you're talking about something that's in a hut and far away from Colombo. But that's really not the case, because textiles is something that I want to make a household name, and I strongly believe that it needs to become a part of everybody's everyday life. So
On that note, I think we have a few pictures of your designs as well, so we'll get to them very soon. But if you do just handloom, or is it batik and other forms of textiles as well that you're interested in?
yeah, it's lots of different things. I mean, I love batik, and I think batik is a very beautiful form of art also. And I do work where I have the textiles and I do batik on top of it. So I mean, textiles is something that you can really play around with. It's not just handloom and batik and, you know, so on and so forth. It's a lot of things, and it's what you make it. So
And it's a designer's playground, isn't it?
right.
All right, so let's check out some of your designs, and we have some of your designs, Shyala, coming up first, and then we'll go into some of the designs that you've done.